Welcome to NGIT Math Podcast today. My name is Tao Ling, and I will try to explain to you how to find a principal nth root. So we have learned that what is a square root, but but there is other roots such as cube roots and roots to the more roots. Okay. Uh, well, what does it mean to have a cube root? Well, we know that 2 to the third power, 2 cube, is equal to 8, right? And the cube root would be the reverse of that process. So it's asking what number taken to the third power is going to equal to 8, such as what number taken to the third power is going to equal to 8? Well, it's 2. Right? So it's a reverse process of the cube root. So the fourth root, let's say fourth root of 16, will be asking, okay, what's a number that's taken to the fourth power will give you 16? Well, we know that it's 2. Okay, and so higher power roots are different from just square root because higher power roots can have negative number roots, so negative roots. So for example, the cube root of negative 8 is equal to negative 2. See, so those roots doesn't have to be so well, it only works for even roots. So even roots doesn't have to be only positive anymore. It can be negative. In this case, the negative cube root, for example, negative cube root of 8 is equal to negative root. Okay. This is the definition of the nth root. So let's try to use this definitions on some problems. For example, let's try to find 27 cube roots. Okay, so what number taken to the third power will give you 27? Well, we know that 27 is equal to 3 to the third power, right? And cube root of that. Well, the cube root cancels out with the cube, so the answer will be 3. Okay, and let's try the cube root of negative 64. As I said earlier, the cube root of a negative number is going to equal to still a negative number, so a negative number. And then what's a root? What's a number that taken to the third power will give you 64? Well, we know that's 4 to the third power, right, is equal to 64. So the cube root of that would just simply give you negative 4. Okay. Now, one thing you have to notice, you have to pay attention, is that there is no even root of a negative number. For example, in this case, minus 46. There's an even root. Okay? Well, if you have an even root, that means all the numbers, so that means you have to find a number that, let's call it A, okay? A taken to the 8th power is going to give you a negative number. Okay, is it possible taking to the 8th power is going to give you a negative number? No, not really, because if this number is positive, it will give you a positive number. If it's negative, then since it's even powered, it's still going to give you a positive number. So it's impossible that a 8th root of a negative number is going to be a real number. It doesn't exist as a real number. Okay, so that's not possible. However, you could do something like this: fourth root of negative 3 to the fourth power. Okay, so some of you might ask, well, you just told me that you can't have a even root of a negative number, but now this is negative. How do you explain that? And you say this has solutions. I say yes, it has solutions. Well, it's because if you look at this expression, you actually do this. You do what's inside the fourth root first, because you do negative 3 taken to the fourth power. So if you do that first, you actually don't have a negative number, because after you do negative 3 taken to the fourth power, you don't have a negative number anymore, right? Because negative 3 taken to the fourth power is equal to what? Is equal to 81, right? And 81 is not a negative number. You can write it as 3 to the fourth power, which means the answer is going to be 3. Okay? So, in conclusion, nth root is just the reverse process of the power, right? So if 2 to the third power is 8, then the third root of 8 is 2. And another thing you have to learn is that if the root is odd, then you could have a negative solution, a negative number and negative solution. But if the power is even, then you cannot have a even number as the root and the solution. Okay, if you have an even number, you always want to deal with the positive number. This is a special case here. This is a special case is because the number inside here is really not a negative number. It's a positive number. Okay, so this concludes this particular section, and then thank you for watching, and good luck with your study.